What's up guys, it's me Eric B. Welcome back to the channel. I've gotten a couple requests so far to do a video on, going from a sport bike to a naked or vice versa, whatever you guys want to pick. Some people are having, some thoughts of switching it up. So I figured I'd do a video on it for you guys real quick here. So I'm just taking a quick little ride before it gets dark. Got about an hour or so before the sun sets. And just so you guys know, so far, man, this bike has been pretty dang awesome. Before I jump into the video, there are a couple of complaints that I do have about this bike, and I think they're pretty common across the board that you've seen on many of the videos here on YouTube. The number one thing for me so far is going to be the fuel economy, because the gas mileage on this thing sucks, no doubt. Pretty much any liter bike that you get isn't going to be, great on gas or anything like that, but man, this thing really does suck some gas. I think I just filled up, and I think before I did that I had about 93 miles, before the E was flashing there. But yeah, that's one thing that really sucks on this bike. Other than that, this thing is freaking a beast. I think you can kind of overlook that, but if you're definitely being a hooligan, this thing's gonna suck some gas. So I hear a lot of people complain about the seat, but I don't have any big issues with the seat. I put the stock one back on it just to see what it feels like, and it feels fine to me. I mean, I haven't done any long distance trips or anything on it, but between this and the comfort seat, I don't see a huge difference. The comfort seat is a little bit more comfortable, but overall not that bad. The other thing I noticed is I do have a lot more wind in my face and chest, so a lot more really in my chest, because I don't have the windscreen and all the fairings and stuff to kind of protect me from the wind like a sport bike. So the brakes aren't the best on here, especially the rear brake. You can't even lock that thing up. I think just a change in the pads and brake lines and stuff like that will help improve it a little bit more. But for just riding around town and normal everyday riding, the brakes are fine. Man, I forgot all about that curve. Alright, so most of you know, I used to have a Gixxer 1000. I got rid of that for this bad boy. I've been, eyeing a naked bike for quite a while. Had an opportunity to ride things like the MT-09, the Triumph Speed Triple and stuff like that. And they're not bad bikes. What I didn't like at first was the looks. And they kind of grow on you after a while. And once you ride one, man, it totally changes your perspective on the naked bikes, Okay, so if you're going from a sport bike to a naked, there are some pros to that, obviously. So number one is going to be the ergonomics. This thing is really comfortable. You're going to have a more upright seating position. So if you have if you're someone with a bad back, that's going to help you out a lot. Usually the seat's a little bit more comfortable, but that's not the same with all the bikes. This one usually isn't that comfortable from what a lot of people say. The handlebars more upright, a little bit wider. The whole positioning while you're riding is a lot more comfortable, and you can ride for a longer period of time. Now when you're really getting into it, you still got to kind of get down into the tuck position and everything. I mean, you don't have nothing to protect you from the wind or anything, but also these things like to wheelie a lot, so that also helps keep the front wheel down some. Alright, number two is going to be the usable down-low power that these bikes provide. So they're not going to be like your sport bikes, where some do have, some bottom end to mid-range punch, but a lot of them are all top end. Your naked bikes aren't going to be top end. They're geared, like I said, more for low torque. Better for riding around in town and stuff like that, where you're really going to use that power. This thing will top out at about 160, I believe. I haven't tried it myself yet or anything. But really, I think the fun factor is a little bit better, if you ask me. I mean, these things are hooligan bikes, man. You can sit here and do wheelies with this thing all day long. I've even ran my buddies with liter bikes, from a second gear roll all the way up until, they blow by me, and I can get them every single time just because the torque on this thing is unreal. And you can wheelie this thing so easy. And I'm no pro at wheelies either. Oh my gosh. And that's just power wheeling it, man. You literally hit the throttle on this thing and it just wants to freaking stand up. But yeah, that's what I like about these bikes, man. They're super fun to ride. All right, the third thing is probably going to be the ease of maintenance and everything with these bikes. So you can easily get to things like the oil filter and other parts on the bike without having to, tear a lot of stuff apart and take fairings off. Probably not a big deal with a lot of people, but that's just one thing. Another cool thing is going to be the cost of these bikes. So they're usually going to be a lot cheaper than your sport bikes. Some of your newer leader bikes are really expensive. I mean, starting anywhere from $15,000 on up to, you know, $100,000 if we're talking about the Ducati Superleggera. It's crazy. But you know, you can pick up something like this for around $13,000 brand new, I believe, and you can get some even cheaper when you get it used. And when you start getting into like the MT-07, MT-09, those type of bikes, they're even cheaper. The big thing that you're losing when you go with this is obviously some of the wind protection when you're trying to ride, if you're trying to tuck or whatever, and the top end speed. You don't have, you know, the top end gears, you know, to do, if you want to do all that highway smackdown and stuff like that, definitely you're gonna need a sport bike for that. But this thing will still get down, man. It's still a sport. It's like a naked R1 essentially. You can still freaking hit curves with this thing. You can still get on it and have a blast, but still be comfortable at the same time. And like I said, some of the cons with this is, like I said, you're gonna have more wind flow hitting you in the chest or whatever. Not a big deal. And you're not gonna have that screaming top end. The really big benefits that I see to getting a sport bike is, A, they do look a little bit sexier. Hands down, sport bikes do look pretty. When you want to freaking haul ass top end, get a sport bike, obviously. And they're good for the track and stuff like that, you know, when you want to make a track bike. Now there's nothing saying you can't track any kind of naked bike, like a Duke, you know, this, what else is out there? There's Kawasaki's got the Z900 or whatever it is. You got the Triumph, the Speed Triples, stuff like that. You can definitely track these bikes. Holy shit, are you serious, dude? What's wrong with people, man? And this is why we wear GoPros, so we can catch people doing stupid stuff like that. Alright guys, I know that was short and sweet. Just wanted to give you my 2 cents on going from a sport bike to a naked or vice versa. If you guys have any comments or questions, just leave me a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.